Today we're going to talk about how to connect with the NFT and also we're going to discuss actually looking into several brands, how those case studies, how they create a strong sense of community with their fans. So first of all, a little bit about myself. So I'm a founder in the creator economy for over 80 years. And I founded two companies, which is one of ETCHEVE, which is another one is Revot. Revot is an art agency platform, and we represent over 100 visual artists, and we have 3 galleries in the United States. Before that, I worked with Fortune 500 company, Procter & Gamble, and one of the largest commercial real estate company in Hong Kong in Asia, and serve as their director there and handle over 100 billion projects and assets. So a lot of experience in brand. So really exciting, to share with you guys about how the brand and the tech evolve into each other and how Web3 we're going to change this landscape. So to start with, I want to talk about what is Web3. I wonder, do you guys have any sense about what is Web3?
Yeah, CodeMonk ourselves, we are a Web3 company, and we are looking to onboard more tech dev to CodeMonk, and in the near future we have prospect of, we have plan of becoming a DAO. And, this is exciting period for us, and we're happy about it. So Web3 is something I believe everyone should embrace. Yeah.
Wonderful. So yeah, it's definitely something new, and it got very popular, this concept during COVID. And this concept actually is being raised by the founder of Ethereum. And so there are some keywords in the definition of Web3. The first is decentralization. And another is because it's decentralized, so that's why the P2P, peer-to-peer intersections and auto transactions is emphasized. So which means there will be no bank, and rather we're going to do the transactions and interactions one-on-one to each other. So there are 4 traits about Web3. The first is it's built on blockchain. And it's decentralized. And so which means the word Web3 want to build is because currently we are in Web 2, and which means when you log in, when you browse the internet, when you talk with your friends, Meta, Google, they're going to record the data, right? That's also how they make money. They sell advertisement to their advertisers using your data, etc. So in the Web3, we want you can be the owner of your data, and you can monetize it as well. So that's why it's called decentralized. And the third is because it's decentralized. So unlike we all go to Google to or go to Meta to talk with each other. So the community will be very, very popular, which means the group will be smaller, but we begin to develop a relationship with each other on the internet more closely. And also, token has become a popular thing in the Web3, and it's kind of become standard because you are doing certain behaviors on internet, and before you are kind of trade your data in terms of service, right? So Google is going to sell your data, Facebook is going to sell data, but you're still doing that because you want to use Google search, or you want to use Facebook. You do want to share your personal lives with your friends. So that's why you kind of trade off your privacy to use their product. But there are some people are not satisfied with that, right? They're not happy. So in the future, you will get rewarded. So usually those reward will be token. So that's a little bit about Web3. So what happens with those Web3 impact on the brand? Because the brand need to think about new ways to reach out their consumers in the future. In the 1920s, I mean, as I mentioned, I worked for Procter & Gamble for marketing and business development before. So it used to be the biggest sponsor of their soup, their soup shows. So that's why it's called soup shows, because in the 1920s, all those TV shows, they're sponsored by big consumer product companies, and they played advertisement of soup. So that's why they say soup opera, soup shows, etc. And then when we turn into 2000, we have the internet and Google, their Facebook, Meta, and Uber later, etc. All those companies, and then we have the digital marketing. All those brands begin to think, okay, I need to do the advertisement through the internet and find the demographic data, do specific target their advertisement rather than put my put money in advertising through TV, because I don't know whether people, I know how many people watch it, but I don't know whether they like it or not. So it's so Web2, in the Web2 era, definitely become more interactive. And Web3 will make it a little further. You know, the first is because it's built on blockchain. So it means it will be immutable database. The database will not be changed, and it will be more transparent for the brands to see the data and behaviors for their from their customers or fans, followers. And at the same time, their fans, followers can also to choose whether they want to sell their data or not. So it will change the nature of how we communicate as a brand with the followers. And also the second is decentralized. So they don't need to log in with signups now, right? They have the sign up. So we have the wallet, or there is a domain, which is the Web3 domain, which enable, this is the only identity you have in the Web3. And you don't need to sign up, give your emails to different website. Now you can move around in this whole internet when you use different websites and browse different contents. And the third thing is the community become more and more important these days, because in Web3, nothing will happen. Like you can't build your product, you can't sell your product without a community. So usually we can see people build a community first, and they even give the shares, like, you know, to the communities to help them with their project. The first one is the token. So there is a new way to lead acquisition and engagement. So because before, like we say, hey, we pay $2 per lead on Google advertisement, right? You know, that's your CPC cost. But now you can also just issue a token to say, hey, if you truly believe my mission and vision of my new brand, I'm going to share some token with you, which means you can also earn my token. And if I sell my product, right, because you own my token, I will give back like 10% of my revenue to you. So that's very, very common. That's why it's also welcomed by a lot of small small brands, startups, etc., because they might traditionally don't have enough financing sources, but now they can actually fundraising directly from their fans and followers, the early adopters. So because we are talking about NFT, right? So I also want to explain a little bit further what is NFT, because the blockchain is still a whole ecosystem and it's a very big concept. So NFT is a little bit, it's easier, to adopt. It's become, the tech become a little bit quite mature. So it's non-fungible token, and it represents digital assets. And so which means also, since it's non-fungible, it means unique. The Bitcoins, Ethereum, we heard about Matic, other, those digital currencies, they are fungible, which means my Bitcoin is the same same as your Bitcoin. When we exchange, it just change money, change US dollar. So, but NFT is different because my NFT might be different from your NFT. So it's more like trading cards or like, paintings, etc., music. So they might not be end up with the same value. So there is a lot of things, and also represent the collections rather than we're not going to collect, right, the US dollar. We will not say, hey, it was be my collection or something like that. So because of the nature, so that's why so what will happen, to the brands is they need to understand why people are buying NFT. The same for the brand. So there are mainly four categories, like 4 reasons why people want to buy NFT. The first is they want to engage with the brand or creators. They buy it, they collect it because they like the brand. For example, if I really like basketball, right, I collect basketball cards. The same thing, that's why NBA launched basketball Top Shots NFT collections, digital collections last year. It was quite successful because people want to collect those moments. They want to cherish and share with other fans, etc. To say, hey, I have this, right? I'm really supporting this group, etc. And second group is also very common in the past 2 years, which is investment. Because NFT is still connected to the fungible token. Now we see more cases. Actually, you can trade NFT with fiat currency such as dollars, pound or euros, etc. But before, because it's connected to more connected to Ethereum, Bitcoins, etc. I mean the digital currencies, so it has fluctuation, and so that's why many people use it as an investment as well. The third is you can some people want to buy the licensing right, especially they're buying from music brand, creator brand. So, or even those entertainment. So they are thinking, okay, because some of them, when they sell the NFT, they will sell the licensing right, which means you can not only listen to enjoy, but also you can license to other companies or other people, to put in, let's say, in their games, put in their T-shirt, etc. So that's why they want to buy that as the licensing right, as the copyright. The other is definitely we see this has become more common this year in the NFT industry is there are more and more utilities built on that. NFT not only become a digital collectible, but also become a gate pass, become to those exclusive content, become a game. You can earn through different game activities or community activities, or it become a ticket which you can enter into a specific concert or etc. So I want to share with the first, dive deeper into our first case which is Starbucks ODYSSEY, so which is their new NFT loyalty membership system. They launched in 2022, and it's quite new, and it sells them all, and it's very active. Their users, we monitor those behaviors are very active there. So let's see why Starbucks want to do this, why a brand want to tap into the Web3 and adopt this. First of all, because since Web3, like today's AI, it become really, it was buzzword in the past 2 years. So everyone is having this FOMO. They don't want to miss out. The same with the brand. They want to capture the trend of Web3. They want to figure out what they should do with it. And they also realize they have a better way to engage with the community, because the strategy of Starbucks is they want to build, the third environment. That's their slogan, their strategy, which means you go to Starbucks not only get a coffee, you usually go to Starbucks to hang out with your friends, to meet with your clients, to meet with investors, etc. So they want to extend that further, because apparently COVID affects that, right? Because during COVID, it makes us to realize, okay, sometimes we need to make friends. Like that's why we are having a Zoom meeting. And is there a way we connect with each other through a same brand across the globe, rather than just meet in person in a venue? Is that possible? So that's why they're thinking, okay, is there a way to engage with community better? And they also want to develop their brand in metaverse, since it's also a trend in the tech industry. And they want to explore the future loyalty program. Is there a better way to explore, to make people more engaging and contributing to their community? So this is what actually their CEO said, like I explained, so he said, Starbucks has always served as a third place, a place between home and work where you can feel the warmth of connection over coffee, community, and belongings. And the Starbucks ODYSSEY experience will extend third place connection to the digital world. So that explains, because the children now, they grow up with the digital. They grow up with app, iPad, iPhone. So they will be more comfortable with digital world. And so that's very natural for the brands to explore. Like, because for the CEOs of Starbucks, he needs to think about what's their, after 10 years, what will it be, right? So what a consumer will be and how to cater those consumers. So what they do is, they launched ODYSSEY, and which is they will offer members the ability to earn and buy digital collectible stamps, which is actually NFT. But they're very, very smart. They call it the stamps. So make it more accessible, understandable for their users and fans, because not everyone understand what is NFT is. But everyone knows what a stamp is, right? It's just a loyalty card with different stamps after doing certain behaviors. They just say, hey, it's just a digital version. And so what they can do with those stamps, the first is become digital collectible. So, the first batch actually in the waiting list, they are the first people in the whole globe. I believe it's just around like 10,000 people. So it's not that much. They get the first batch of their Starbucks NFT. So they really got excited and they can show off, right, to their friends, etc. And also, it is a loyalty program, which means all the activities you are doing in the digital world, in the metaverse game, you can still use it to buy coffee, to use it in their store. So it's connected to their core business. And certainly as they launch a digital community, which is very active now in the metaverse, people go there, chat, learn coffee, and talk about coffee, etc. And there are also other, benefits and artworks with other partners and artists, because we just mentioned in the beginning about the nature of Web3 is decentralized. So it doesn't matter, whether you join the Web3 or join this program with Starbucks. Starbucks can easily collaborate with another brand or another artist to say, hey, your NFT holders can, enjoy a free coffee, or they can come to our event for free. They have a little bit of benefit. So that's a little bit easier, like much easier actually for two brands or two parties to collaborate with each other. So that's about the program, and let's look into deeper and how they actually does it work. Okay, so this is the user. So they can get Starbucks NFT by two ways. The first is you earn it, right? Some people don't want to pay it. They want to play that game. They do different journeys. The journey is about, okay, you need to answer several questions about Starbucks. You cannot, then you teach your users about what's your brand. That's also every people working in branding and marketing, they want to do. And you need to share the events of Starbucks. So you have a little bit like kind of brand ambassador in the social media, help you promote this brand, and other things like drink a coffee or something like that. And then after finish all of those journeys, you can earn the stamp. than the NFT. There is, but if you don't want to do all those, right? Yeah, because some people, they have a little bit more affordable income and they want to collect this, but they don't want to go over all those tasks. So you can go to the marketplace to buy one. And when you have after you have the NFT, you can buy and trade. If you don't want to get it, you can trade. So which is the traditional loyalty program, you can't do that. Let's say I have Starbucks loyalty card, a gold card. I can't trade to another friend. This is not allowed. But now with NFT, because it's non-fungible and it's more transparent. So if I sell to Paul, the brand will know. So the brand will say, okay, you can do that. And for me, become more flexible to invest in this loyalty program. After you collect certain stamps, you will also have a collector score. So it's really ranking some, oh, sorry guys, not sure what happened. Sorry, seems like someone is calling me from, yeah, so, yeah, and you can become, so you can really figure out who is the most loyal consumer in your group, who are the true, who are the core fans, what are they doing, and you want to reward them people as well. Right, so that's what they do. So if you have very higher like collector score, you can also redeem like special perks. We will say you are the ambassador of Starbucks, and you get special benefits. Yeah, so yeah, this is a little bit of explanation how you can earn steps. So you can engage with educational like activities, you can spend on Starbucks goods and play virtual interactive games and also just buy it. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new about loyalty program. The only new thing they add is now they really have the educational coffee activities, not only offline, but also online. Right, Starbucks do host those in-person activities, and they invite the loyalty the members to join. But now you have more ways. You can join a Seattle session or Costa Rica session, but far away from in Europe. You don't need to travel all the way to just attend such an event. You can also play virtual interactive game, which is very new for those traditional brands as well. The journey is so that's what they also do. They had a virtual tour of Starbucks coffee, in Costa Rica, as I mentioned. Like traditionally, they do every year host a physical trip, the actual trip to visit among the fans. But not so many people can afford that, and they can't give all the perks to a lot of fans, right? But now you can visit virtually, and you can also do trivia about Starbucks heritage and all interactive games. It's a very, very smart because you train your it's more fun way to tell your brand story and to engage with your fans. So let's see what you can get from the perks. The first thing is you can have like those classes, and you can to have unique merchandise, and you can also have special events, and even you can have a trip actually to their office in Costa Rica. So you can see different perks, and you can also imagine what kind of, probably, if you want to go to Costa Rica, you need to have a lot of NFTs, which means you are the core fan. So the result is yes, amazing. As I mentioned, they sold all of them, and it's very active. Their fans are very active to sponsor this program. And why people are doing that? So first is there is new third place, which is in the metaverse. It's on the internet. This community form to each other, and probably, let's say Paul and I never know each other, but we are connected because we both love Starbucks. We really love Starbucks, and we love coffee. So now we can make friends to each other. It sounds cool, right? So it's a new third place in the digital world, and also it's a recognition. If I spend every year like in Starbucks, if I buy like 2 coffees per day in Starbucks, I want a brand to recognize me and also, show appreciation to my as a loyal customer, which they do with the NFT, with this kind of, and I can show to other people. So it make me proud and also belongings to the brands. And also the third thing is they want to go global. So many, even the loyalty system, because of different countries have different the system, infrastructure, etc. It's very, very hard for a brand to go global in the traditional way. But with the NFT, it becomes much, much easier. So our learnings from this case is, first is when you think about adopting NFT, this new strategy, you should think about your current strategy first, right? Your current behavior trend. Don't launch NFT just for NFT. It doesn't work, unfortunately. We're going to actually to talk about a case which is a failure later. So think about, because for Starbucks, it makes sense because they still focus on third place. That's their strategy. You still want to emphasize that. So if you're a brand, you want to think about that as well. What is your core strategy? What is differentiating you from other brand, other competitors? Also, you want to focus on creating a community, and but you don't want to terrify and your users with those buzzwords like NFT, Web3, etc. because people don't understand this tech. You can easily mask them, and as you can see, NFT is just a tech. It's a tool rather than a goal. So use the tool to make the journey more transparent, more smoothly for your community. That's the most important thing. Another case I want to share, which is also a successful one, so that we can enter into that failure one, is from the Times. Times is a magazine, right? And they also launched an NFT collection in 2021. They are actually, it's become a business for them. They are still running it today from different batches. So this is their first NFT launch ever. Why I want to discuss about it, because this is a PR brand. It's very, very different from other brands. They themselves is doing those PR values and how they can use NFT for their promotion and to get a brand out to benefit their core business. That's something I really want to communicate. So their first Timepieces, that's their NFT collection name. They prepared and managed for actually literally 1 year to prepare that. And they sponsored 89 artists, and they have 5 collections. Okay, and over 600K donated to charities. That's their achievement. But let's look into deeper about the challenges the Times face. The first is they want to change the relationship with consumers. You might have heard of that. Since 2000, all those media companies struggling to convert because no one reading newspapers, no one is watching TVs today. Everyone is watching Netflix. Everyone is searching news on through different apps, right? And Google will give you a lot of news, like push notification as well. So it changed people, human beings, like their way to get information change. So many media company, they embrace the digital world. They begin to have the e-newsletter as well, right? They sell subscription to you so that you can read New York Times, the Washington Post, etc. But some people of them missed that. And so how do they embrace the next wave of the tech to connect with their consumers, their readers, and to start a new era of their the PR? Also, they want to change the brand image because Times is over 100 years old. It's like people think, okay, media company is boring, right? It's newspaper. It's very, very boring. So they don't want to change that, and also encourage, like, especially young readers, because these days young readers are getting information from TikTok. They're not reading newspapers. They're not subscribing newspaper anymore. So they definitely want to change that perception and acquire those Gen Z, the consumers. They also want to shift further online. That's something we already addressed. So about timepieces. So it's a first kind of, initiative. They are also the first company actually launching the NFT collections among all those major PR, the media companies. Okay, and they start from their idea they want to do art, and they want to create an artist community. Why do they want to do that? Because traditionally, when you have a magazine or newspaper, you already build a lot of connections with those artists. They're illustrators, who give you the cover photo, photographer who give you the photo for the cover. People do follow that because it's kind of art, and of course you have writers as well. And also, they did with the art in residence program. So because the whole NFT program, they map it as, rather than a loyalty program, they package it as a charity program to support artists, to support charities, to empower the universe, like, doing something, giving back to the society. Yeah. So what they do is they also have community engagement using their NFT. So they launch different artist talk, and they talk about stories behind those things. So now if we have a photo about, let's say, Trump, so we probably know like what's the story behind that, how the artist actually takes that photo, anything special things happen. They also give the people to show off their NFT, and they also host a lot of parties. And traditionally, they host the parties among celebrities and also selected, high net worth individuals. But now they give the readers a chance to attend those well curated parties, to know each other as well. And or you can just buy the NFT magazine. This magazine become collectibles, and you don't need to buy those magazines collected in your house. Now you can just put in your wallet as part of your collectible. Also, they give people the power to voting on a new project. Some people feel like, okay, now I can not only collect or buy those magazines, I can also vote to say, hey, what kind of news, what kind of things we should feature or report in the future. So it kind of decentralized the power of the media and give there more engagement opportunities for the readers. Okay, and so this is their mapping. So they have, they announced their project, and they launched actually in 2021 September 20th. So they announced that on Twitter and collected feedback, generated their first community, and then they further developed their communities with the collector challenges, different raffles, different challenges to have the artist on board first. And after artists on board, so therefore their followers actually will follow as well. So that's why they have those little bit of those parties with DJ, and also, they have different fun events such as cooking time, etc. And so their result is they target 40 artists, but they end up actually working with 89 artists, and they launched much more NFTs than they believed they were going to have. So the end result is 20,000 very unique NFT artwork, and they raised $10 million, which 600K donated to charity, and the rest are distributed, to cover the cost for artists and also their company. Yeah. And so the learnings here, what do we learn from this case? So again, we kind of emphasize all the time, the first step when you think about your NFT strategy or Web3 strategy is don't create a company just because it's an NFT. Think about who are your consumers, why you are different. So the company strategy and the target consumers still matters. For Times, because they are PR magazine, they want to create this kind of, the feelings about, the most important thing for them is to get name out. And so that's why nothing is better than charity program. Again, they start from their company strategy, etc. And the second thing is like creating a community, and you don't necessarily to create a community out of nowhere. You should start with your current community, hear about what they want, how do they want to engage with your brand, will they be happy if you give them some tokens, to allow them to engage with you, and also you appreciate their effort, engagement, or buying purchase from you. And also, so that's why give back to your community, give back to the people who support you, especially those core fans. It's very, very important. That's why a company exists, right? Because you have some fans, you have foster the buyers. Don't forget about that. Again, I will emphasize this actually the whole presentation. NFT is a tool rather than a goal. We see so many cases, which I'm going to share. The next one is is a failure. They think NFT is a goal. It's a quick way to make money. Doesn't work. Sometimes if you get lucky, you might get money, but it will harm your brand as well. You don't want to do that. So since we are talking about that, I'm going to share this case. Sorry about this picture. It's just screenshot because I did not buy this NFT. So that's why I did not have the much clear picture. So what I want to talk about is the 2023 launch of Porsche car NFT. It's a failure. First of all, I want to give you a sense of that. So what's Porsche NFT? The Porsche NFT is a digital replica of the iconic 911 model. And the price of that is $1,500 per each buying an NFT. Yeah, I see Paul is nodding the head, like, see, right? It's like, so it's a very, very expensive. Their original design is they say, hey, why should you buy my NFT? First of all, it's a rare digital model. They put different model picture of 911, and they said, oh, it's unique, it's different, it's luxury brand. You should pay $1,500 on it. And also said, oh, in the future, you know what? You have the capability to customize the design. And the last is why do they want to do that? They actually just want to capitalize perceived short-term trend, because everyone is doing that. Lamborghini actually launched one in 2021, which was super successful. But when they did that, they did not sell it. They actually give for free, which means if you buy a Lamborghini, you have the NFT connect to that car, which is also unique, represent your ownership of a Lamborghini, since not so many people can afford that, right? So you have this kind of very exclusive club. So Porsche saw that. Porsche said, okay, we should do that as well. We should launch NFT. Seems like a lot of brand is making a lot of money there. So the result is on fire. The fans don't buy it. When they list on the market, only 20% NFT has been minted after 24 hours, even though they did several marketing initiatives, like pushes, PRs, activities. And what even worse is, what's even worse is there is a resale market, because some people bought it and then immediately feel like, okay, it doesn't seem like a good project. They begin to resell within 24 hours on OpenSea with a much lower price than the original offer. So you can think like, what a disaster, right? And also, so the result is for Porsche realize that they have to cut the supply. They just decide, okay, we're not going to sell. We need to hold this project. After 24 hours, they kind of say, hey, we need to rethink about it. But during the time when they rethink about it, a lot of scammers happen. So a lot of people just create a fake Porsche Twitter account, tweet fake Porsche Discord channel, etc. To many people probably don't know, and they saw, okay, this is the NFT, which is a fake one. So why people don't like it? First of all, the people are unhappy with the price. Because 2023 is a very interesting time because last year, a lot of people lost a lot of money in the crypto world, which is many of them are the major buyer, like they're major buyers of the NFT as well. 40% of them, the 40% of the buyers actually are investors in the, in the crypto or fund institution, etc. And there is no clear roadmap of their utilities. So what I'm buying for 1,500, just buy a Porsche picture. So for people who don't understand NFT, they think NFT is just a picture. And they thought people buying 1 million, paying 1 million for a picture, which is not the truth. So that's why people are very, very unhappy with that. And it harmed the brand as well. So then the Porsche people think, okay, we need to go home to rethink about this. So what do? They cut their supply. They make it more real. Because if you really want to make their individual price, like listing price, very, very high, you want to create a real market. That's why Lamborghini, the NFT, is very valuable because you need to get one after you purchase a Lamborghini. Apparently, it's much, much more expensive, right? Just buying 911 model NFT for $1,500. And they also realize they need to add utilities. They need to develop their community. They need to provide true value to their community members, to their fans and followers. So they add some more utilities, which is airdrop, which means to say, hey, in the future, we are going to do other things in Web3 as well. We have other digital assets. We have more activities. And if you buy now, you will get for free in the future. They are promising that. And also, they realize they need engage with their community members to let them know how to do with their brand. So they recruit those NFT buyers as part of this the project. They can vote what they should do for the next step, rather than the brand, those marketers come to say, hey, I'm going to do this as a buyer, you should do this, 1, 2, 3. People don't like that. People do want to have a say. The customer do want to have a say in this journey, especially after they purchased and give you money. They do want their voice to be heard. And also they immediately start like customization design. So different NFT, each NFT become different, and you can customize it. You can put your name, your own decoration on it, etc. So make it more unique for those NFTs rather than 20,000 the same 911 picture. So they kind of save the project now. The project now, they sold them all eventually, and the price is stabilized. So what we can learn from this is capitalize short-term value will not work all the time. Okay, sometimes you get lucky. You can get quick money, but in the end, it's going to harm your brand. And also understand the market is very important. You can't just say, hey, I'm a luxury brand, so I'm going to sell whatever. There will be some people buy it. It doesn't work that way in the Web3 because the power is in the community. So you want to understand the market. You want to understand your community. You want people to engage with you. So you need to hear from them. So that's why 1,500 per piece is too high. No one is going to buy that. The third is you really need to develop project and engage with your community. I will treat NFT, and I see more and more common now, NFT become a community tool, because you will get feedback from your community, and the community can be part of it. They can even develop this company or this project together with you, or they can also earn some money out of this project if they join very early or they devote a lot of time in this. So definitely need to add more utilities and those values to communicate with your community members. So those are 3 cases I want to share. And so to summarize, what do we have learned today? The first is I want to give you a broad kind of roadmap about NFT utilities. What are people are really using NFT for? Again, it's not a JPEG. If you're thinking it's a JPEG, you're completely going the wrong way. And I'm very happy you are in this webinar. So hopefully I can change your mind today. The utility, there are 6 categories utility that are very common. The first is the community and membership. It begin to replace the traditional loyalty program. The second is events and ticketing, because it's safer and more secure, and you can monitor whether people can trade it in the secondary market or not. The third is for the social media and influence. So which means if people are promoting you, attacking you on social media, helping you promote, increase awareness of your brand, you can use NFT as a reward, and you recognize them and you include them as part of your marketing strategy. You work together with your fans. And the fourth is the metaverse and virtual land. The fifth one is digital identity. As we all going to create, I remember in the ICOC popular in the 90s, right? Everyone, we all create a nickname. And I remember that time I communicate with my friends in the actual world, like in the school. I said, "Hey, what's your nickname in the internet?" We talk about that, and we're proud of our first account. So it will be the same thing in the Web3. And the last is gaming. You can use NFT as a gaming. NFT can be avatar. NFT can be those kind of stamps, the rewards of the game, etc. The final learning is, first of all, when you think about your Web3 strategy, you should think about your company strategy. It shouldn't be like out of nowhere, and it shouldn't be just outstanding from your company strategies, goals, etc. And you should define a goal. You can't just say, "Hey, I want to monetize my fans or followers or brand." Don't do that. You should have a goal about connectivity and connections, and also engagement with your followers. Think about in the long term. That's how it can work. The second is remember to build a community. If you don't have a community, NFT won't work for you. The power of Web3 and NFT definitely lies into building community, and because you reward them, you talk with them, and you should have your community channel, etc., about your project as well. You can't just announce to say, "Hey, I'm going to do this, 1, 2, 3, you guys should buy." It doesn't work in this way anymore. The third is for any business or for any brand, usually the consumer are the first. We want to emphasize that because we saw many cases and many people in Web3, they probably forgot about it. Which is not true. That's how we human beings do business. You need to sell something people really want. Either it's an experience, either it's either it's an experience, or either it's a service, or either it's a product. Okay. So that's so really happy to share all those cases, and I hope this is helpful. Feel free to, if you have future questions, just you can drop me a message. If you have interest in learning more about ETCHEVE, we do have creators and also brands to launch NFT and as a membership card and different utilities as well. If you have interest in learn more, feel free to contact us.